Welcome everyone to session 3 of the Niche to Success system. And I'm really excited as I am watching the work that's coming through and your brand's developing and your mantras and on all that stuff that's taking place. So really the first thing that I want to do today is go over and I am going to pull up the stores that I have links to. Hopefully you guys will all go over and update and make sure that your store URL and niche information is in the document on the Facebook group. But I have stores pulled up to look at, so we can make sure that your brand is matching what you sell, and we can kind of go through each one and kind of talk about as a group, because you guys can, type me in that stuff. If you're listening to this on the recording, you can talk about it over on the Facebook group. But what this really is I don't want you just to listen to me. I want you to listen to everyone's ideas and input, and then trust your own gut on the direction that you think you need to go with it. So I will figure out how to show my screen with these stores. Let's see. I'm going to start over here. Ha ha ha. Here we go. Okay, let me make sure you're seeing my screen. Make sure I have my glasses on so I can read things. So, Better World Boutique. Let's see, Gail, are you here? No, she said she had to join us later. So this is Gail's store, Better World Boutique. Her niche is still being refined, but she's thinking something in clothing and shoes for men and women. Needs to choose a style. She's thinking bohemian, preppy, classic, sexy. But then in the next sentence says, keeping in theme with the name, how about natural fibers only? And I actually think that's a really good idea. It's a really hot topic right now. People are thinking about going green, and they will pay more for things that have that natural fiber and all of that. So I like that. So now the question is, can you find enough merchandise to give you the numbers that you need in order to make the money that you want to make and make the sales that you want to make? So definitely something to think of. And her mantra is make your world better. So what do you guys think of that? Make your world better. In line with what she is talking about, the direction she's going. Sounds good. Okay, awesome. Like it. Yeah, I think it fits. I think it fits, Gail. Now the thing will be to commit to it. So you have to be true to your brand now. If your brand is about natural fibers, going green, better world, stay true with your products in there. Because right now, and I know you're cleaning this up, but we see coffee mugs and a whole assortment of stuff. So you're going to have to go through your store now and pare down to those items. For those of you also who are needing to get non-niche things out of your store, start liquidating. I mean, really, really aggressively liquidate, run sales. I've even done some 99-cent auctions just to get some stuff moved out of there, especially on things like coffee mugs and things that are not too expensive to ship. Not free shipping, not free shipping. When I say 99-cent auction, that's plus shipping. That's plus shipping. Yep. Okay. And the other thing, Gail, I would get changed over to the new store format sooner than later. And you'll see as we go through the comparison with those who have the new store and those who don't. Okay. Who do we have next? We have... We have Lisa Hensley. Lisa here, she's on the call. Okay, so Lisa, Hensley's Heartland Shop, you've done a really good job with your branding as far as your colors and your logo and and we know you're from, it's from Oklahoma. And then I think correct me if I'm wrong, we've nailed down that you would like your mantra to be bring the heartland home. And I really like that. Bring the heartland home. Let's see, I am getting these things all in a weird order. Hold on, guys. Let me. Ta-da! Okay. Yes, and there's getting lots of comments. Beautiful, Lisa. Like it. Pretty header. Yes, yes. Oh, yes, Lisa says to remind you guys that there is the Danny App Seller Swap group, Facebook group, where you can list things that you want to liquidate. So maybe there's another seller that does coffee mugs that would buy, 10 coffee mugs from you for, 10 or 20 bucks, which works for them, works for you, gets them cleared, that kind of thing. All right. So Lisa, we still have to narrow down to a niche for you, and I know we're still working on that. I can tell you right over here where you have quality collectibles and houseware sourced just for you, that would be where, instead of saying that, I would change this to your mantra, bring the heartland home. Bring the heartland home makes people want to go scroll down and see what you have. And then if they are seeing products that fit with that mantra and your brand personality, you don't have to tell them what you sell. They're going to see what you sell and be interested. So it's really about how you take the items that you have, those collectibles and things, and bring it back to that feeling of bringing the heartland home. Okay, and we can work on that more too. And there's just some things that you should really look at, maybe going, okay, in order to do that, maybe I need to get, so like you have health and beauty, watches, pet supplies, baby things, there's only a couple listings of those, so maybe those things go. Maybe those aren't part of it. And then you concentrate on the collectibles and the things that really go into the housewares and that sort of thing. Toys, games, plush, we could look at how that fits in. But I would go through your unlisted stuff and don't list anything that doesn't fit in your niche. Kind of put stuff aside if it doesn't fit, because I know you have plenty to work on. So be careful with what you're listing. All righty. And we'll keep working on fine-tuning that niche for you. Then we have gifts in, so you call it gifts in PA or gifts in Pennsylvania. So Kim, good. Kim is here, yes. So Kim, so I'm still having some confusion over gifts in PA, and I'm concerned your customers might be as well, because it makes it seem that your gifts are, the things you're selling are only things that come from Pennsylvania. Now, you also have Enchantment Gifts, and I really like Enchantment Gifts. And I know you've got that as very niched into the Celtic and the pagan and the New Age stuff, but Enchantment Gifts, I mean, you could either like keep building on that as a niche, because that's definitely a niche too, or make that a category of enchantment gifts and still do all the other stuff. It's really something to think about, because you could do so much with enchantment gifts. It gives people a feeling, and gifts in Pennsylvania, I'm worried that that is going to be confusing for the customer and really understanding what your brand is about. Does that make sense? Now, I love the mantra, gifts worth giving. Totally love that. Whatever you do, I would stick with that and work with that, because that says it all. It's gifts worth giving. Yay. Who doesn't want a gift worth giving, right? So it's just a matter of fine-tuning that a little bit. Now you also have, let's see, the Great Frame Up. And by the way, I love that name. I love the Great Frame Up. How are your numbers in that? Are there enough frame buyers that you can continue to develop this? It's low, but there's 121 listings. It's pretty niched, and I love the name, so I wouldn't let go of that just yet because I think there's a lot you could do with that too. It could be more than just frames. It could be artwork that goes in there too, anything that's framed. So let's keep that one on hold too. Mirrors, exactly, mirrors and all kinds of things. So you've got some really good stuff working there. And it's a matter of just deciding how you're going to balance the time in each one or bring them together. All right, next we have Paula's Loft. Your home, uniquely you. I love that, Paula. I love it. And now, Paula, is that something you've been using, or did you just come up with that for the homework? Oh, awesome. So for the homework, great. And you live by that. I mean, that your brand is very unique items. You are very careful about what you select for your store, and it's added up top to. Oh, I see you added it here. I would get it added into your header too, and make it not quite as big and bold as this, but enough that it's a little bit bigger than this and really stands out so people know what the experience is going to be when they come to the store. Yep. You want that we're going to call it a tagline, because every one of you have come up with a mantra that works as a tagline. You want that to make the impact with your brand, so that when people see the name of your store, such as Paula's Loft, then they see your home, uniquely you, bam. They know exactly what they're going to find in your store and what you stand for, and that's going to make it intriguing to them. So I would put it up there. And yeah, you've done a great job with the product lines that you have, so I would just keep building on that, building on that. Gorgeous. All right, next. Let's see. Susan, we have Buckeye Emporium. Now, Susan, you are selling on eBay too, right? Because I could not find your eBay store attached to your website. Yeah, so that would be something I'd want to do right away for you, is you've got a lot of products on here, and you'll have to refresh me on where those products go to, because they stay on here. Are they somehow coming from eBay? Are they integrated with eBay? I love that you have your products on they're imported from eBay. Okay. Is this a Shopify site? Ah, okay. Very good. So you got some plugins. So what you're going to want to do then for your brand, and I apologize, I didn't pull up your eBay store. Make sure you put that link over in the document so we have easy access to that. But the thing I would do, see how when you come here, I kind of get a sense of what's in here, but I have to kind of scroll down. There's text. There's nothing that just really hits me between the eyes of what Buckeye Emporium is about. So you're going to want some branding and logo and colors and a header with a brand tagline that may or may not be your mantra, and really tell people what they're going to find here. It looks quite intriguing to me when I see all the cooking stuff, and I'm really into cooking right now. So it's intriguing, and I know you're doing a lot of blogging, so you're getting a lot of those pieces. I think it's just like fine-tuning now and getting those put together. So some of you are asking about Shopify. Shopify is a platform that you can build an e-commerce store. It's got a lot of, plugins and integrations and things, and that could be easier for you to do than building a WordPress site. It doesn't give you quite as much control and creativity, but you can do a lot with it, So something for some of you to consider when we start talking about having your own site. Yep. And it allows you to post to Facebook too, Susan says. Very good. Awesome. So we just got to work on, what your brand is all about, Susan, and bring that all together. But looks very exciting. All right, and then we have Jen's part-time finds. We find you enjoy is what I see there. Is that what? So we've been talking about lasting impressions, and I think lasting impressions is more impactful. What do you guys think? You guys are saying yes, yes. Lasting impressions. It's like, ooh, I want to buy something that makes a lasting impression, right? So then it's just a matter of making sure that your products are products that evoke some kind of a lasting impression, whether because they're like really cute shoes, or there's something that's got like the awe factor. And so then you just have to be careful how you're organizing that stuff if you're going to proclaim that. And next we have Funsational Finds. This is Gary and Sharon, and I don't see them on the call. Now they have spent a year working on their brand and their niche, and they did private coaching with me for that year, and we really worked hard on getting this put together. And their brand, their tagline and their mantra is both fun intended or intended fun. No, it's fun intended. That's right. Fun intended, and then their newsletter is intended fun. So what I would say, Gary and Sharon, is you need to get that mantra up here somewhere. Maybe one of your slider images becomes a big word art thing that says fun intended, and really put that out there. And you guys can see their categories are fun decor, fun in the kitchen, fun in the sun, and as they're sourcing now, they still have some of their older products that don't quite fit, but they're clearing those, liquidating, and everything going forward is a fun product. It looks fun, right? We picked fun colors, we picked a fun font, and they've really done an amazing job with this. They have their own website that they sell from, which is also a Shopify site, and they are going gangbusters. Yep. So very cool. And this is, by the way, this is just a custom eBay storefront that they had it made for them. They didn't do it themselves, and I can put you in touch with several people who know how to do these and do these for people. So good stuff there. And this is, let's see, this is Melinda, who is away on a well-deserved vacation, and she's going to be undergoing a name change to Painted Daisy Paperworks, because the niche is paper crafting, scrapbooking, stamping, painting patterns, all those things for crafty people. And so the mantra, aka tagline, is creativity starts here. Creativity starts here. And while we can't really see, she's posted over in the Facebook group the new logo design and all of that. There was a question presented about Michael's uses, the craft store Michael's uses a very similar, let me find it. Let me find it one second. They use a similar tagline. Here it is. Michael says, where creativity happens. It's different. It's not creativity starts here. So there's no problem. They're not going to come after you and say, hey, you're stealing our tagline. It is different. It really is different meaning. They're saying where creativity happens, you're saying creativity starts here. Different, you're good, you're golden, but very smart because you're appealing to the same people who shop at Michael's, which is not a bad thing at all. So good job with that. All right, who do we have next? We have Sharon Oden. Are you here? Let me look at my little list and see who's here. Doesn't look like Sharon is here. Let me share my screen. Okay, so her current store name is All for Ya. And I did a business review for her, and through that discovered that she didn't realize that it had a bit of a religious connotation. So we are working on changing her. I suggested All for You, and she wants to go with Cloud9 Collectibles. Oh, there's Sharon. I see Sharon. There you are. We're just talking about you, Sharon. So I like Cloud9 Collectibles. Don't have to change the logo and all of that except for just the store name. So if you go with Cloud9 Collectibles, then I don't know, did we come up with what would be your new tagline and or mantra for Cloud9 Collectibles? So that would be the next step. So the niche behind that would be things that are soothing, comforting. I would say it's a lot of blue. I mean, wouldn't you guys say blue and green things? Because that's a soothing color. Oh gosh, I see fountains for the home, and anything like even like feng shui stuff, heavenly. Yeah, there's a lot you can do with that, and you'll get a certain kind of customer who's going to come into your store and really enjoy shopping around and finding things. Okay, so she says, we will lift you up like no one else. We probably need to cut some words out of that. So what about, see if this comes to me. Let me think on that. I'll post over in the fair. I'm thinking something like uplift your uplift your habitat, or uplift. We'll play with that. We'll play with that. Yeah, there's something there. There's something there. So we'll work on that. But it's that whole kind of feel that your brand now, the direction you're going, which I really, really like. All right. Next we have, let's see. Here we go. Laurel. We have Abundant Empress. Abundant Empress. So your niche is home decor, collectibles, whimsical treasures, vintage to modern for the buyer who appreciates character, humor, beauty, and function. You're going to have some original art in there. Yay, love original art. So you can probably see, compared to some of the others, there's some branding that can take place up at the top, and probably some fine tuning of that niche. So I would center it around your original art creations, because that is something nobody can copy. That is uniquely your territory, so to speak. So I have not seen your paintings, but if you have some examples, you can post over in the group. Let's look what the feel is from that, and let's build that off of your own stuff. Everyday abundance and a tagline of enrich and enjoy your world. Yes, I like that. I like that. Everyday abundance. Oh, I like that. I like that. That's really good. Yeah, so now you want to fill your store with things that live up to that, right? So you'll really have to look at every product that you're putting in there and make sure it's not like a Star Wars mug may not. Oops, you guys, I forgot to turn off Skype. Hold on. I always forget something. Oops, quit. That's better. So the Star Wars mugs and maybe even like some of the Christmas stuff may not quite fit into that. So really think about how the products you list fit into that brand, okay? And if you need help with that, just holler over on the Facebook group. All right, and I know you guys, sometimes it's hard to get rid of that stuff that you've bought, and I get it, but that really, I told you some of this was not going to be easy for some of you, and I know that it's even a tough thing for me sometimes to let go of things that I liked buying and I got them listed, and now it's like, uh-oh, we're fine-tuning and refining, but that's really the key to selling more, making more money, being able to raise your prices, all of that good stuff, okay? All right, we have Jim's store. Let's see if Jim is on the call. No, he's not. Okay. So we have Jim's store, Yesterday's Treasures. Now, Jim has 3 different stores. I wasn't able to pull one of them up. I think, yeah, I'm not sure why, because no, it's supposed to be that way. Anyway, so Yesterday's Treasures. And I don't know that we got a mantra or tagline for Yesterday's Treasures because I don't have one written in my notes unless it came in today. Love the header. Speaks to, this real old-fashioned vintage antique stuff. So let's work more on that, Jim, over on the Facebook group. Come up with your tagline and the real core of what your brand stands for, and then really take a look, because if you're going to say vintage treasures, you got to make sure everything you're listing fits into vintage treasures. And that's what can be hard sometimes when you see some deals like Duracell batteries. It dilutes your brand, so you got to be careful with that. All right. This is Jim's other store. Now, I got to tell you, I love the feel of this header. That just evokes an emotion, and those of us who grew up with Star Wars, we know exactly what that is. I'm not sure how to say the name of that store, though, and I'm not sure what that stands for, and I'm not a pop culture person, so I don't know if that is a term that pop culture ideal target customer would know. I'd love to hear more about that, Jim, where Mos Eisley. I want to know more about how that name came to be, but I love the feel of this, and I love the niche. This is definitely a great niche to go with. Yeah, a lot of you are saying you don't understand it. So that when anything is confusing in your brand, it can cause a problem in getting conversion. Conversion equals sales. Okay, so be careful with that. But good job on the feel of that header there. All right. And then now this is a work in progress. He just came up with this new store name. Gary is changing from Gary's Discount Sales to Rising Tide. And Gary, what did we decide that your mantra was? 'Cause I know we worked on that. See, did I write it down? How come I didn't write that down? That was so foolish of me. Oh, there was lots of cantinas in Star Wars, possibly one of the characters' names most. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. It's a Star Wars location. Okay, then it works. Then it works. I stand corrected. Yeah. Rising above the tide. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Now I'm going to make myself mad because I can't remember it. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to go peek. I wish my memory was as good as it used to be. Dun, dun, dun. Rise above ordinary. Rise above ordinary. That's it. Yes. So he's working on now upscaling the image, the perception of his brand. He'll be working on a new logo and a header and getting switched over to Rising Tide. Rise above ordinary. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so good job, Gary. I'm excited about watching how this develops, and then how you might even want to change your eBay ID once you get this nailed down, just to get the whole wholesale discount vibe out of there. For those of you still having trouble getting your URL to reflect a name change, I am going to be talking with eBay about exactly how to go about getting that done because it's super important, super important. Okay. And then we have Nancy's store, My eBazaar, and we just worked on this, I mean, just hours before today's session. So think we've got Nancy going in the direction of plus size clothing. And so that's going to take some discipline, but also not just plus size clothing, but things that would be needed and appeal to a plus size woman who wants to look beautiful. So we need to work on what that all looks like so that you can really, really zero in on your target customer, on sourcing, still being able to go to those thrift stores that you love and finding the right things instead of a big mishmash of things in your store, because you see right now there's just a lot of different things. So watch for that coming and being developed. It's a work in progress. All right. Okay, who is down and along memory lane? Is this? Dun, dun, dun. Hang on. Down and along memory lane. Oh, Kathy Heatherly. There we go. Kathy, are you? Yes. Okay. So yeah, I love this header too. Doesn't that just give you a feeling? So Kathy, what have you thought about as far as a mantra and or tagline for that goes with? So David and Kathy are both here. Sorry about that. So something that really stays in that theme of down and along memory lane. Maybe it's stroll through time, or, and I'm just throwing this off the top of my brain, just what's kind of hitting me. It's that feeling of walking hand in hand down that path and thinking about the memories and then those items. Oh, I like it. Memories are made of these. Memories are made of these. That works. That works. And then just making sure that those products are something that evokes a memory for people and has them strolling down memory lane, right? Very good. Like it. And then you want to be sure and get that up here in your logo, in your header, so that it hits people. Memories are made of these. Love it. Okay. Then we have Countryside Cash. This is Sally. Let me show your store. So as you develop this, Sally, I would get the new store with the header as you come up with some branding, because that's going to really show it off and show your products better. Now, what you were talking about was that your niche is men's clothing, but I'm not really seeing that here. Now, there's only 37 items listed, so I don't know if this is a new direction to go or what. So let's talk about this over in the Facebook group so that we can really help you develop this looks like right from the foundation of starting to get items listed. And then explain to me how Countryside Cash, or Our Cash is Your Treasure, is going to fit in with men's clothing. And if you have an idea how that's going to work, let me know. Let's talk about it, because right now I'm a little confused and I don't want your customer confused. So that's why I say let's get that sorted out. Okay. Couple more, guys. You guys are good. You did your homework. George. I thought I saw George come on the call here. Nope, I don't see George. George, sentimental toys. So you've got vintage toys and more, but George, we need a mantra, we need a tagline. What do those sentimental toys do? Let's evoke some emotion that attaches to your imagery and the name of your store, and then let's load it with products that fall in line. It's a great beginning to this, but let's figure out what's stopping you from really building it, building it, okay? And we have, what do we have here? Here we go. Okay. Emmeline Brooks Specialty Gifts. Now, specialty gifts, right? And I know we talked about special gifts for special people, and we had a little conversation about, but what if somebody is buying something for themselves? Won't saying special gifts for special people deter the person buying something for themselves? And absolutely not. And the example I gave was Nike. So we know Nike is really about a quality athletic shoe. Does that stop somebody who just wants a nice, comfortable, quality shoe who isn't a marathon runner or an athlete from buying it? Nope, sure doesn't. But it helps them target their ideal customer, and yours is the same. I mean, and I think it also fits special gifts for special people. Who doesn't want to be special? You can buy a gift for yourself, right? A question came through, just wondering, who is Emmeline Brooke? And I don't know, does that have a special meaning? Is there a special person that reflects? Yep. We can now, once you nail down what your brand is going to be about, the personality, the colors and kind of things that you want, then you build the header. Then you kind of put it all together. Makes it so much easier. It's really hard to build a store header if you really don't know what your brand is about. It was the name of her gift shop for 25 years. See, and that's your brand story too, by the way. You have a brand story, I bet, that is really interesting. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, and you can say in business for 25 years. That can be part of your marketing as well. That is something that a lot of people don't have. So use that. You've earned that. Oh, it was a brook that runs through the property. Okay, more interesting. Yes. I would, if you have pictures of that brook, if you have pictures of that you could build your imagery for your branding off of that. Yeah. They're saying story time. We can share those stories over in the Facebook group. I would love to hear that story as well. And then we have another work in progress, which is the cedar closet. And Bill, I love the mantra you came up with, which is confident, capable, classic. Wow, you nailed it. You nailed it. I love it. Now we just need to make the branding fit with that and the products that you list fit with that. Yeah, getting lots of yes. Awesome. Yep, yep, yep. So now everything needs to be confident, capable, classic, and you will bring the right customer. That's really good job on doing that. Yay, yay, yay. And our newest participant here is Raina, who's probably hasn't had a chance to catch up to everything yet, but Raina's Collectibles. And Raina, when you're ready, we can really buckle down and come up with the mantra, tagline, personality of your brand and help you turn this into something amazing, because it looks like your specialty is jewelry. Yeah. So excellent, excellent. Okay, and I saved this one I want to talk a little bit about. So we have One Apple Hill. And Alex is doing some tremendously good work with this. And the goal is to turn One Apple Hill into the next trendy brand that everybody wants. And oh, I see you've got it up there, seaside inspired. Okay, because we were talking about inspired by the coast. You nailed it down to even one less word. I love it. Seaside inspired. I love it. And I love the feel. I love everything about this. So excited to see this brand. And you guys can see it isn't just clothing. The seaside inspired is just the feeling that every product can bring. So it can be clothing, it can be home decor, it can be gifts. It works. It works, it works, it works. Yay. And last but certainly not least is our Miss Busy Bethy, who is busy with style. And again, you guys, Beth has been working on this for a year. She has gone through the course previously. She worked, and I see improvements coming, by the way, Beth, all the time with you. You are really, really doing a great job. Fashion and style for the busy woman. Busy with style. It all fits. And everything she lists, everything she posts out on social media, it all works for her ideal customer. So excellent, excellent job. Now, what I want to tell you guys is I don't want anyone to feel bad that your store isn't as complete as, say, Beth's or Alex's or Gary and Sharon's Sensational Finds. They've been working on this. So that's why I said everybody's at a different place with this, but yet all have that same goal. So ask questions and get feedback over on the Facebook group, because that's where the genius happens. And it doesn't just, I mean, it's not just coming from me. It's as a group. I call it a mastermind, because it's everybody kind of bouncing ideas and building on those ideas and coming up with great stuff over there. And I just absolutely love how it's happening. So you start where you are. You start where you are and you make progress. Yep. You were afraid of brand last year and finally starting to see it as not so scary. Oh, so glad. And really, when you start really committing to it, it's fun. Well, I think it's fun. But you can embrace it. It's something that's uniquely yours. You can take ownership of, and nobody else can really copy you, because when you're the first one with your brand and your branding, anybody else will just be seen as a copycat, and that sets you way out. Okay, so here is what we are going to do now. I want to talk about, if I can figure out, okay, there we go. I want to talk about niche just a little bit for just some clarity, and now how that works with your brand so that we can really, really nail the niche thing, commit to it, because from here we start marketing, okay? So we really have to get this down for you guys, at least a place to start, and a commitment of a place to start. So niche, a place or position suitable or appropriate for a person or thing. To find one's niche in the business world is an example. A distinct segment of a market, pertaining to or intended for a market niche, having specific appeal. And that is the definition that I like to use. It is the intended market. It is the target. It is who you want to reach, which makes your niche. Okay? And then I refer to the products in that niche as the niche products. Okay? So there usually is some specific categories of products that fit in a niche. The niche is your easy button, guys. Once you commit to the niche, now your marketing can be streamlined, your products can be streamlined, the maintenance of your brand is streamlined. It really, truly does make things easier. So here are the 6 key elements of a profitable niche. Okay? A wide variety of products. I don't want you guys having to worry about developing one product or one product line that's got a short lifespan, and then you have to start over and start over and start over. I like you guys to have a wide variety of products to choose from to bring customers in, but yet they all are attracted to the other products in the store because of the niche. Higher price, lower volume. Now, this is not the only business model, and our very own Matt Pinkish will attest to this, although Matt's starting to look at how he can get some higher priced items into the store. But this will make your life easier if your items can be priced higher and you don't have to sell as many, especially if you are a one-person show or a couple doing this on your own. If you're having to ship out, 1,000 packages a day to make your margins that you want to make and make the money that you want to make, if we're thinking big, you're going to, need a warehouse and a staff team to do all that work, and that's a lot of stuff. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but just keep that in mind. If you're going to go lower price, higher volume, there's a lot more to that. I know, and Paula's going, yes, 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 on the higher price, lower volume. Affiliate possibilities. So this is something you want to consider, especially those who already have their own sites or are in the process of going forward and building your own site. You can bring in products that you don't even have to carry. You can just put affiliate products onto your site that someone else fulfills. So it really opens up possibilities when you know that niche. So say you specialize in pet products and somebody has a really nice line of dog bowls that are, let's say, on Amazon. You can become an Amazon affiliate and just put that product on your site. So when somebody sees it, clicks on it from your site, boom, you get a cut of that action. Are others making money with it? Now, I want you to be unique. I don't want you to be selling exactly the same as someone else, but we have to make sure that there is a market for whatever niche you're deciding to go into. And let me think of an example of a niche that probably wouldn't work. Okay, how about products geared towards people born in the 1920s? Only because they pretty much are not shopping anymore. But just really think about where you're going with your niche and make sure that it's a viable market. Could you come up with 100 different articles that would relate to your niche? And then this is really the key. This is the biggie right here. Is there enough stuff to talk about with your niche market? Yeah, and somebody, if I could write, we're going to answer that a little bit later. Don't worry, you don't need to write, okay? You don't need to be the writer. But can you come up with 100 different ideas? And 100 seems like a big number, but I want you to really think, is there enough variety to talk about with your niche market? Yeah, some of you are saying yes, yes, yes. Question, what do you think about setting up a Shopify store, importing my eBay items, and then adding dropship items from a supplier? You could definitely do that. Absolutely, positively. Yep. You just want to make sure you have a really reliable drop shipper because your brand reputation is always at stake. But if you have that in place, absolutely. Absolutely. And this one is important to me. Will you enjoy it? Who wants to do something that you don't enjoy, right? That's why my little sign-off saying is go be profitable and make it fun. To me, we have but this one life to live, and I don't want anybody doing something just because they need to make money. I want you to do something that has some passion, and it like my husband says, he says, you work all the time. I said, really? Because it doesn't feel like it. It's not what my work, my hobby, my enjoyment is all mixed together. And that to me is what your own business should feel like. It should be enjoyable. So here's the rules of niching. It must meet your customer's unique needs. So there needs to be a unique need to fill. That's why when you just say quality collectibles, well, what need are you filling? Is there a need for a store that just sells quality collectibles? Or is there a need to fill people's lives with soothing gifts or the perfect gift or a conversation piece for their home or, oh gosh, something unique for their home? See, those are needs. So you want to make sure you're filling a specific customer need. To look good, you know, to be a large size and still look stylish, right? Use the right keywords. Now this is super important. Every niche has words that the people that are being targeted in that niche use. Okay, if you do pop culture, if you do anything like that, Pokemon has got to be in there. And right now, boy, if you do pop culture stuff, you should be talking about Pokemon Go like crazy. But there is a language around Pokemon that is very specific. And we just talked about the language associated with Star Wars. See, I'm not a Star Wars geek, so I didn't know that reference, but you know what? The ideal target customer of a store that caters to Star Wars lovers, they would know what that is. Same with, you know, Pokemon, or, you know, in clothing, you know, different size clothing has different terminology. You got to think about who the user is. So little tiny petite clothing is going to have a different language than plus size clothing. And as I told Beth the other day in the group, it is okay to start coming up with language that you create. Create a new way of looking at something, because after all, that is what puts a lot of brands on the map. So who says it has to be called, you know, plus size or large size or any of those? Come up with your own unique lingo for it, and you can use that. But then you have to get that word out there, and you have to build that word. All right. Test the market. Test the market. Oh, like venti. Thank you for saying that, Sharon. Yeah, Starbucks. Who knew what venti was before That's a Starbucks term now. Just means, you know, the large size. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Boom. Test the market. Test the market. Here's the thing. This is flexible, you guys. If it's not working, if something you're doing is not resonating with the market out there, change it, fix it. That's the beauty of owning your own business and your own brand, is you can do things on a dime. You don't have to wait for a committee and legal to come in there and say, oh, we got to do, this, this, this. You get to just test the market and go, you know what? Not working. Let's do this. Test that. No. Yep. Okay. This worked really good. Let's do more of this. Become an authority. So here, this is really important, you guys. So if you are going to specialize in women's plus size clothing, you need to be an authority on women's plus, you need to know what their pains are. You need to know how to talk to these women. You need to know goes back to the right words to use and how to come across as someone who has their best interests at heart, because that's what they want. Same thing, Matt is an authority on lawnmower parts as far as I'm concerned. To anyone who is looking for that sort of thing, that builds the know, like, trust factor. You have to trust that the person you're buying from knows enough to get you the right thing. You want to know that they've described it correctly, that it is exactly what you need and what you're going to buy. So be that authority. Don't be tentative. Don't be insecure. That's why I always say, say Murano glass. If you think it's Murano glass, say Murano glass. Be assertive, because I'll tell you what, all those helpful experts out there will let you know if you don't have it listed correctly. Yes, like the pet experts at PetSmart. Exactly. Do you think those people are really all pet experts? They got some training. They learned the lingo. They learned where the stuff was in the store and the right things to tell the customer. You just have to know more than the customer layperson to be that authority and to give them the confidence to buy from you. Okay. You need to start creating content, and this is where now some homework's going to start coming into play. So I would like you to have at least 5 articles written, and they can be reviews of the most popular items or types of items in your niche. Now, if you're not a writer, if you hate writing, if writing makes you cringe, then this is not something you do. This is something you delegate someone else to do for you. There is Fiverr. There are, some of you have teenage children that are really good writers. Some of you may have a spouse that's a good writer. Or there's sites like iWriter.com, iWriter.com. Love iWriter. You can go over there, give them a title, description, and the keywords you want used, and you will have several people write an article, show it to you, and you don't pay for it unless it's what you want. And then it's only, depending how many words you want, it's like under $5 usually. Super, super cool site. That's all those people do is write. It's what they do. I like to write, so I like to write I usually do it on spur of the moment too. Something comes to me with a news story or something that's happening in the world, and boom, I'm writing. I used to be a songwriter, so to me it comes easy. Math, on the other hand, oh, forget it. I'm hiring an accountant. You can write 3 in-depth tutorials on your niche, and these are really important. These are what will get you on the Google SEO map. So you want the how-to, and that's going to depend on what your niche is. How to buy the perfect gift. How to wrap a gift like no one else. How to purchase plus-size clothing that fits. How to take care of your antique glass collection. See how that works? I would like you guys to, now this is not the homework for the week. This is just something I want you to be thinking about. This is your start, because once you write, 5 reviews, 3 in-depth, and 3 list posts, then you've got your beginning and you kind of know the direction to go. A top 10 list is great, and that would fall into a list post. And when I say list posts, that is the top 10. And you know what? If your stuff has to do with someone with a lifestyle that's about travel, like some of you doing some high-end designer clothing, men's clothing, this may be, the 5 best places to visit to travel in the world. If you are a family oriented niche, then it could be the 5 best amusement parks to visit in the country. This does not have to be about the product. Remember, it is about your niche market. Does that make sense? Yep. This is stuff that will go on your blog, which should be on it should be on your website, but until you have a website, these are things that can go on your Facebook page. Yep. Excellent. And of course, repeat. Because this is an ongoing process. Creating new content is what gets your brand out there, recognized, known for. Your brand associations come in that way. Yep. So your blog goes on your website. Your blog is a place to it's a page on your website with fresh content. If you look at the niche2success.com site, you'll see I have a home page and there's snippets from my blog articles on the front, but it takes you over to the page where that lives. And it's just really, really good for Google to pick you up. And if you are consistently writing on the same niche topics, you will get more Google love. Yep. Please repeat that. Okay, so your website is the place you want to send everyone to, and on your website you will have pages. Those pages will be things, even if you don't have products on there right away, you can have content. You can have your brand story. You can have these articles, which we can call them blog posts, okay? That's what articles, blog posts, that language kind of is interchangeable. But the blog lives on your website because the blog allows you to constantly be creating new content that drives Google to have people come to your website based on that niche that you're talking about. So when somebody types in preppy sportswear, you want to have articles over there that Google says, hey, this site over here, One Apple Hill, is about preppy clothing. I want to send you there. Okay? And if any of these pieces are pieces that you're not comfortable with or you don't think you can figure out, that is the time to find someone to help you. And then you concentrate on the parts that you're really good at in your business. Some of you probably saw my little technical buffoon thing I did yesterday because I was trying to do something I normally delegate to someone and I totally screwed it up. The best use of my time is not in handling the technology, the bookkeeping, the accounting. That is not what I do best. And I accept that. It doesn't make me dumb. It doesn't make me, stupid or unworthy of being a business owner. It simply means I'm not good at that. I need to spend my time doing what I'm good at, which is teaching you guys, going out and sourcing things to sell, writing. Those are what I'm good at. Those are where I need to spend my time because by hiring somebody to do the other stuff for me, it makes me more money because I can do more of what I'm really good at. Okay, keyword research, some places to do research are Google AdWords. There's a keyword tool that is free to use. There is wordtracker.com. This one's pretty interesting. They have a newsletter that I signed up for, and they send some really interesting stuff. I highly recommend you guys, by the way, get on the newsletters of stores that seem to be targeting the same niche customer. See what they're writing, see how they're attracting customers, and see what of that you can incorporate into your own brand. Merchant words. And there is a discount for merchant words. I will post the link over on the website, on the Facebook group. They have given a special deal to my people who follow me. It's $9 a month. And what Merchant Words does is you can type in words or a phrase of words, and it's going to show you all of the Amazon search results where people are using those words, and you can put it in an order of highest to lowest, and you can find words that maybe a competitor is not using effectively, or maybe you find that you want to use one word over another. It's really, really a good tool. Love Merchant Words. And remember, niche is about targeting an ideal customer for you, okay? It's really about zeroing in on a specific customer type. And for the most part, I find that customer is not you. So be ready to accept that you are not your ideal customer, okay? That's a little bit of a hard concept to get. But make sure you're not getting in that space of doing things because that's how you would shop unless you truly, truly are your customer, okay? And if you aren't sure, let's talk about that over on the Facebook group and make sure that that's not happening. Now here is your to-do list for the week. This is your homework. So you want to complete the brand worksheet that you were sent. That came in an email. It is also posted over on the Facebook group and will also be on the website very soon. And on there, there's just a checklist that you can see if the niche that you're looking at covers, I want to say it covers at least 4 of the 6 of those minimum. Okay, I'd like it to be 6 out of 6, but we'll take 4 out of 6 if we have to. And then I've got the rules for niching there that you can kind of compare your niche. And then there is the page where you can actually write down what that niche is, how many of those items you checked off, and and you can put your keyword research on that. Okay. Now the article writing, all of that. I want you to just write 5 titles, okay? 5 titles, and we can worry about how they get written later for those of you who hate to write, but see if you can come up with 5 article titles that relate to your niche. And I skipped number 2, the most important is you have to commit to this. Pick one and let's run with it. Commit to a niche market going forward, okay? Now the bonus work for those of you who like to write, actually write those 5 articles. And if you want to post them in the Facebook group before they go on your Facebook page or in your site, on your blog, we can do that and help you fine-tune them a little bit too. Everybody understand the work for this week? And actually the good news is you're going to get 2 weeks to do this. There will be no session next week because it is the eBay Open event, which I will be attending. So we will come back in 2 weeks. So you have plenty of time to get this nailed down and do all this. Yeah, a lot of you are traveling next week. So yep. All right. So this will be the 2 weeks of for those of you who haven't nailed down your brand mantra, the tagline, the personality, all of that stuff behind your brand, let's do that this week. Let's get that nailed. You have lots of help over in the Facebook group. For those of you who are ready to move a little bit more forward than that, let's get that tagline onto your headers. And then let's move forward with committing to the niche and writing those 5 article titles. All right? Yay! You guys are awesome. You are doing really incredible work. I am totally proud of you and excited to see how this is all coming around. And you're gonna come out the other end here with a brand, you guys. Thank you. Thank you for committing to your business, guys. And with that, go be profitable and make it fun.